and thank you for joining me. So today we're taking a look at doing a healing your past trauma read, okay? So obviously if you don't want to heal your past trauma, then this is not going to be the reading for you today, right? So can you help out our collective, please, with healing their past trauma? Okay, right, so how has this trauma impacted on your life? The Nine of Wands. So it's made you feel like you're constantly on edge, made you feel very defensive, maybe overly defensive at everything, basically, okay? So that's how this trauma has impacted you. I'm also hearing over-explaining. So someone feels that they constantly have to over-explain themselves, okay? Again, that feeling of constantly being in trouble and constantly having to defend themselves, okay? What emotions do you carry because of this trauma? The Chariot. So that's a card all about your willpower, okay? When it comes down to emotions, I feel that this is about having quick emotions. So you're probably super quick to react, so really reactive, maybe on occasion overreacting, okay? It's not ideal to get the Chariot as an emotion card, okay? Not in this particular context anyway, because it can indicate that there is this overwhelming thing about getting maybe over emotional and overreacting at certain things, and then constantly feeling, of course, like you have to defend yourself, and feeling basically like you're constantly walking on eggshells, okay, with this particular combination. Okay, so how does this trauma affect your relationships with other people? The Six of Swords. So you would much rather cut things off with other people before they have an opportunity to cut things off with you, okay? You would much rather again, take that first move at leaving a situation. It's kind of like, well, I have to leave people before they leave me. And that gives someone here this sense of control over the situation, okay? Definitely, someone here doesn't tend to make lasting connections either, with that being the Six of Swords, okay? Right, how does this trauma affect the way that you see yourself? The Queen of Swords. Yeah, so someone sees themselves as being very, well, just not accepting any kind of BS, which is absolutely fine. I do not encourage anybody to accept any kind of BS. But with this on how you see yourself, it's almost like some of you see yourself as being really quite cold, you know, really sort of unforgiving almost, okay, because there is this feeling of permanence with the Queen of Swords energy, okay? And again, don't focus on gender, okay? It's just about the energy. It's not saying anything at all about your own gender, okay? Court cards don't work that way, right? So yeah, that's how you see yourself. You see yourself as the Queen of Swords. Also unwilling to be, I want to say, emotional with other people. Definitely someone who feels that they have to control their emotions all of the time, and that can be really exhausting. Okay, right, so what do you need to do to release your trauma? The Moon, literally. It's time for you to face your fear, time for you to face your emotions, rather than running from them. Or rather, I mean, someone is pretending here that certain things don't bother them, when in actual fact they really do bother them, okay? So Spirit's saying, look, in order for you to start working through and releasing this trauma, you are going to have to face your emotions and face your fears with this Moon, okay? Yeah, taking a peek into the shadow aspects of yourself also with the Moon. All right. What lesson can you learn from your past experiences? The Two of Cups. Learning how to love again, learning how to trust again, learning to recognize what a fair, balanced, and equal relationship actually looks like. Okay, some of you very sadly don't know what that looks like because you've yet to experience that. Okay, how can you begin to move past this experience? The Hanged Man. So that's taking stock of absolutely everything. It's also looking at the world through a different lens. Okay, that's really going to help you out. So Spirit's saying, look, not everybody is going to be out to hurt you. Okay, believe it or not, in spite of what your previous experiences have taught you. Okay, not everybody is going to be out to hurt you. So it's time for you to view the world through a much, much different lens. Also, don't be afraid to delve into your own spirituality as well, with that being the Hanged Man. Okay. How will life change for you when you finally work through and release your trauma? The Five of Cups. It's an interesting one because, again, the Five of Cups, that is about a loss. It can be loss of a connection, a relationship, loss of a friendship, okay? It's emotional lack or emotional loss. So when you start to process your trauma, you're going to be surrendering certain connections that you're still holding on to, that you shouldn't really be holding on to, okay? Some of you are still in connections with individuals that are unhealthy, and that's through a feeling of some kind of misplaced sense of duty. Okay, so your life is going to change in the way that when you recognize that certain individuals have contributed to traumatic experiences for you in your life, I do get the strong feeling that you're going to be cutting off those particular relationships. Okay, and it's not going to be easy. It absolutely isn't, because it's the Five of Cups. You are going to go through a bit of an emotional roller coaster, having to say goodbye to certain people, but ultimately that is what's going to be the healthiest option for you. Okay, you cannot possibly grow and heal when you're still in an environment that is making you sick. Okay, that's Five of Cups energy. Who will you become when you release this trauma? The Four of Cups. I want to say that you will become unrecognizable, okay, because it is the Four of Cups. It's about boredom, discontent, rejection also, and again with that word disconnected. So yeah, once you disconnect from the unhealthy individuals that are still in your life, I mean, these people are going to start to bore you, basically. I hate to sound so abrupt with that, but it is the Four of Cups. You're going to find that certain people, you're just not vibing with them anymore, having such different opinions to them. And I feel that anybody that even remotely resembles that kind of person, you know, the kind of people that you're trying to break free from, they're just not going to interest you at all. And equally, you're not going to interest them. So it's actually going to get to the point where you stop sort of attracting each other. Does that make sense? Because again, it is the Four of Cups. So you're no longer going to be attracting people who are unhealthy for you. And equally, those who would be unhealthy for you, they're not going to gravitate towards you anymore, okay? Because your energy is going to be completely different. You're just not going to be, I want to say, accessible, okay? Because again, it's the Four of Cups. The energy at the bottom of the deck is the Page of Swords. Yeah, the card of the investigator. So I feel that this is your current energy collective. You started to recognize that certain things are not right, that certain responses that you might have to certain things are not necessarily healthy. You're definitely digging deep and doing that investigative work, and through that you've probably been Googling the behaviors of certain other people around you as well, and of course if you haven't yet, then you might soon start doing that, okay, because it is the Page of Swords. Underneath that one is Temperance. Yeah, this is a card of balance, patience and moderation. Taking things slow. I certainly feel that you're going to be more self-accepting, and see with that rainbow as well, you've been receiving some kind of messages of hope with that rainbow symbology, and the Four of Coins underneath that one. Learning to keep your cards close to your chest, learning not to divulge into too much information, learning not to give certain people too much information about you, because you've recognized again that they are quite volatile personalities. Okay, right, so let's keep this thing moving. Can we have healing message for our collective, please? Healing message for our collective who are healing their past trauma. It's such an awkward deck to shuffle. Right, we had a nice big jump on that one. Right, so you've got the card of soulmates. Okay, love, partnership, magnetic attraction between two people, and union. You discover a deep sense of self through a relationship with another. So I do feel, collective, that through you doing this trauma work, again, with that word magnetism, you're no longer going to be attracting unhealthy individuals into your sphere of influence, okay? Because you need to keep in mind that unhealthy people, they have like an antenna for folks who are unsure of themselves, okay? It's like that they gravitate towards people that they think that they're going to be able to exploit in one way or another, okay? So again, with you tapping in and recognizing this unhealthy pattern that seems to be playing out in your relationships, you're just not going to be attractive anymore to that kind of person, right? I do feel that the majority of you are going to be attracting a healthy soulmate connection, okay? That is likely, yes, to be a romantic situation, okay? That is fair and that is balanced and that is equal, right? It's beautiful, beautiful messages for you today. What else for our collective, please? What else for our collective? What does our collective need to know? Thank you. Okay, learn new things. It'll help you in the future. Yeah, again, that ties in with exactly what you're doing right now by doing that investigative work, by figuring out, oh yeah, there are unhealthy relationship patterns in my life. You're learning new things about yourself in the process. And again, it's all going to help you out on finding your true love, your true soulmate. Try not to resist the changes that come your way, and don't delay the inevitable. Yeah, don't delay the inevitable. So don't delay recognizing the unhealthy connections. Don't delay having to sever those particular unhealthy connections, okay? It is inevitable that those unhealthy connections, they are going to come to a natural end. So you're always better off leaning into that rather than trying to, trying to make unhealthy connections work, okay? It's no longer sitting and hoping and wishing and praying that someone else is going to start doing the right thing and that someone else is going to start treating you with respect, okay? That's not going to happen in this particular situation. You have to, in a lot of ways, teach people how to treat you, okay, through what you do and do not accept, all right? And be willing to let go of everything you once thought to be true. Yeah. Yeah, again, it all ties in with exactly what I've just said right there. What's under there? Give yourself some credit for how far you've come. Exactly. It's not been an easy process, okay? Not by a long shot. So you definitely need to start giving yourself more credit, because the fact is, you've recognized that there have been unhealthy patterns in the first place, okay? That alone takes a lot of strength and a lot of self-awareness, all right? Which not everybody is capable of. Let's be real, okay? So definitely do give yourself far more credit than you already have. Right, so I'm going to pull some advice from our Sun Tzu deck. What advice do you have for our collective here, please? Oh, okay. Combined energy equates teamwork. Okay, it is easier to lift a heavy weight with others than by ourselves. You can apply this to your decision making too. Seek advice from those who are more knowledgeable than you in specific areas, which will help you make better small choices. The more you know, the better options you'll have. So that, I feel, is saying for you to seek out a group of individuals who have been through or are currently going through the same as you. Okay, that there are communities out there. It's just all about finding the right community for you. Keep your fight short. Sun Tzu's advice that your objective should be to win the war, not to keep winning the small battles, is great advice for couples. You say your piece politely and with respect, you listen to theirs in the same manner, and then move towards peace. Don't pretend that it didn't happen. You deal with it then and there, and then leave it behind you. Okay. So with this one, it's all about, look, not perpetuating the war, not perpetuating the arguments, okay? It's about everybody having a voice, and I feel that for the majority of you, a large portion of the problem here is the fact that you've not been using the voice that you have, okay? Take the long view. Foreknowledge is an awareness of something before it happens. Such knowledge is very important because it gives us the peace of mind knowing that the world will not end tomorrow. It is how civilizations went from the horse and cart to the jet airliner in 100 years. Foreknowledge is how we use the promise of tomorrow to change and continue with what we do today. So yeah, it's keeping in your mind's eye the bigger picture, okay? So it's like you doing the work now, collective, is gonna contribute to your future in more ways than you could ever. Oh, excuse me, just had a bit of a cough there. The work that you put in now, collective, is going to help you out in the future in more ways than you could ever have imagined, okay? And then, what does friendship mean to you? Think about friendship, how you define it, and why you bestow this special trust on specific individuals. We're often polite to strangers, not knowing if they're friend or foe. Friendships form as doubts slip away, and we let them into our affections through words and actions. We should be open to the offer of friendship if it pleases us. So what does friendship mean to you, collective? Okay, again, someone here has made friends with certain people who are not healthy for them because you met them at a time in your life when you were feeling really down, really depressed. Some of you's made friends with people when you were in your worst moments in life, okay? And these friendships, some of these friendships are not healthy for you, okay? So it's time for you to give that a little bit of thought. Right, so yeah, thank you for joining me today. If that reading did resonate for you, then can you please let me know by dropping a cheeky wee like on the video. That is going to help to keep you connected with the channel, but it'll also help to push the message out to others who need to hear the message as well. I do apologize again for the state of my voice. I can only speak for a little bit until it goes a little bit crazy again. It's this virus, I just cannot shift it at the moment. But yeah, personal readings, they are available on my website, which is phoenixkeiatarot.com. The link for that is in my description box below. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.